Welcome back to From the Eagle's Nest. I'm Russ Moyer. My wife, Mave, and I are here with a tremendous guest, partner, and friend, Don Woods, who's going to be the new associate pastor at Saturday Night Live. Him and his wonderful wife, and what a great couple you make, and a wonderful impression on people. I know you have a great testimony, but more important than that, it's that rapport and relational development that comes with a real pastor's heart. And both of you have just a tremendous heart and a heart for people and relational things. So good to have you here with us today.
Yeah, we just love serving the Lord, and I guess what flows out of our relationship with the Lord is that we love people. And we always have loved people, even when we were in the secular world working. We just loved people, and I think that's what the Lord led us into pastoring. We've been pastoring now in almost 12 years in different capacities. We've been ordained ministers for 12 years, and just pastoring people in all different capacities, and just the love for people.
It is one that's about people. You know, it's all about people. You know, it's about loving people, reaching people, touching people, communicating with people. You know, when I hear some people in leadership begin to talk about things and say, oh, well, the ministry's not bad, but the people. You know, without the people, there's really no need for leaders. It's really all about people. It's all about the Lord and all about His people. And, you know, our real focus and vision in our heart is to be spirit contemporary. Is to be culturally relevant today in our generation, and to have the expression of our faith to actually be relevant to here and now, to this generation and to what they're going through, without being spiritually irrelevant.
Right. Now,
our name and our focus and being out of the box, Saturday Night Live, not your mama's church, kind of in your face a little bit. You know? But how does that really work? How do you guys feel about that in your heart and about how that plays out?
Well, I believe that the whole name of that church came out of Revelation when we went down there together that day. And we were kind of like following the signs of God around Port Dover, if you remember. Every little place we'd go, we'd see something that would be a revelation. That even the whole idea that Dawn shared with us at dinner about the dream of the pregnant prophets, and us having seen that on a sign in Port Dover, to me just spoke of God's, you know, ever-present influence in our lives through revelation. And I said, well, it's a Saturday Night Live church. And it just took a hold, and I said, it ain't your mama's church. And not to be disrespectful, but today, kids, when you talk to young people today, they have a taste in their mouth from old church that's very hard to get rid of. And I think if we're going to be relevant to society today and encourage this generation to love God and serve God, and how exciting it is to be a part of what God is doing, because He's always moving today, then we have to repackage it.
It's true. The fact that we meet on Saturday nights, Saturday Night Live just seemed to be the right name. And our tagline, this ain't your mama's church. Like you said, it's not being disrespectful, but it's just that it's not church as usual. It's not business as usual. You know, we're about our Father's business, and the business is people, and the business is bringing people into the kingdom. And but Saturday nights we found was a good way to do that. Everybody that grew up with a religious background really believes that going to church on Sunday morning, which there's nothing wrong with that. But we think for the people we're going to meet and for the excitement we want to build, Saturday nights is perfect for us.
Right.
You know, all three of us have come from denominational roots. Don, you and I were both raised Roman Catholic, and Mave was raised Anglican. We're meeting right now in the fellowship hall, the Anglican Church in Port Dover.
Yeah.
You know, and so it isn't that we're trying to escape that. It's actually connecting our roots to our destiny, and connecting the dots, and taking some of the negative religious overture away and bringing forth something new of contemporary faith, you know, and certainly the worship that we do there is pretty radical.
Yeah. It's, you know, it comes back to that thing. It's not about religion, it's about relationship. And so, you know, every one of us gets our relationship through our relationship with the Father, but through that we end up relating with each other. And so we're just, you know, we're telling people we just want to get to know you, and we want to introduce you to the Father. And it's that simple.
You know, all three of us are all very active on Facebook too, and I really enjoy you on Facebook, and I enjoy some of the sayings and the things that you have. And I know Pastor Mave with the just to ponder, not to preach, a way of reaching this generation in a very contemporary way, utilizing social media and all the media venues and outlets that you have are really important to reach them. But you have to reach them in the place they're at, not in the place that we'd like us to be or like to bring the church to be. You have to really meet them in a place of legitimate, vulnerability and relationship. It's a neat experience today.
It is, and young people are looking for real. If you look at TV today, it's all about reality shows. Well, we need a reality show in the church. And I know in my own children's lives, if I do not help them to see their potential in God, it'll never release them into their destiny. And as God brings people to us in ministry, that's just like bringing a spiritual family together. And God has so been stirring me in my heart about the natural family and the spiritual family and the parallels. And we were not good parental influence because of whatever reason. You could have 1,000 different reasons why we weren't the parents maybe we should have been. But that's old water. Now we know what we should do. Now we put it to work in the structure of the church family, the spiritual family, and we start releasing all these beautiful spiritual children into the gifts and callings of God because we have helped to release the potential on the inside of them. And when they see it, then they can reach out and take hold of their destiny. I know that happened for me.
Right.
Just when I even came involved in this ministry, because I was called of God. I went to school and I went to learn how to be, but it wasn't until I was in the place where somebody saw that in me and began to release it that I could be. And I think that Saturday Night Live, I was so excited because I know the kind of people that live down there. And God is raising up a radical army in this day. And there's going to be a huge army raised up out of that area.
I believe it.
Incredibly.
Just seeing the way it went the other night with, I guess there were probably, 5 or 6 people that had an opportunity to share their heart of what God was doing in their life. But it was both men and women, young and old, marketplace ministers, pulpit ministers, just every different aspect of it, all bottled into one little group. And you know what? It's the great radical change. The season we live in now prophetically is the most radically changing revelation of church since the 16th century, since the Great Reformation. This restoration right now is a radical time of shaking and changing to the church.
One of the things that excites me and excited the people that night at our first real meeting was that the fact that we're connected to Eagle Worldwide Ministries and we're actually a covenant church, because Eagle Worldwide Ministries stands for raising people up and releasing them, like you said. People today just don't want to go to church on Sunday or Saturday or once a week. They want it to become a lifestyle. But what they're looking for is, God put them on this earth. What did he put them on this earth for? We believe at Saturday Night Live, we're going to help people find their destinies.
That's right. And the equipping, the empowering aspect of fivefold ministry and the revelation we have of that, it's been so refreshing.
Yes.
And to see people grow up into who they are in the spirit, and not just attend church, but actually be the church.
Right.
That's exciting.
That's huge.
Conceptually,
And one of the things that I love about what you have taught our network of ministries, because we have a huge network that's come out from under Eagle Worldwide, not just the churches that we've birthed, but we have over 200 people that are licensed and credentialed with us. And one of the things that he has taught is that you have to be willing to let go of what you used to have, step into change, because we're always changing, we're always transitioning. This, well, I haven't changed for 25 years, is a poor testimony.
Yeah.
If you haven't changed for 25 years, there's something wrong with you. And we need to always be promoting change and being willing to step into a new place in God. And because we're always motivated to do that, we're always, challenged to not stay where you are. But come on over here. God's over here. And I guess that's that whole prophetic utterance that comes forth from a prophet and an apostle, because he's always taking everybody to the next place.
Yes.
And that's important.
It's exciting to do that and to see people move along in their journey, not stagnate and sit in the old place, in the old experience, but continuing to move, because really, when you think about it, the Christian walk is really a journey. From start to finish, it's a journey, and every one of us are at different places right now in our own journey, and it's nice to see the way that kind of unfolds. I'm excited about what's going to happen at Saturday Night Live, what's going to happen in Port Dover. I'm excited in what's happening in you and Caroline's life, and as I see you begin to move into this new and exciting season, it's beautiful and it's refreshing. And you're out there right now, and you may be wondering, what in the world's going on? I want to tell you what, God is shaking everything that can be shaken. This may be your moment. Maybe you've heard us talk about this fresh new revelation of church, or about empowering, equipping, and launching. Maybe this is your hour really to. You can only find your destiny in the heart of God, not in the words or the voice or the mind of another man. So I challenge you today to dig into the fullness of what God has for you, that the eyes of your understanding would be enlightened, that you would know the hope of his calling, that you would step into the fullness of who you are. Thank you for joining us today on From the Eagle's Nest. God bless you.